question you have to answer to get clarity on your course. Welcome back to the Twin Win, the only live stream on the internet that helps you to get the twin win of succeeding in business while winning at home so that you can stop existing and start living. This is the only place on the internet that helps you to do that, the only live stream. And we go live almost every day, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, here on my social feeds. As you can see, they're listed off to the side here. And you can also, if you'd like to work with me, go to the businessaccelerator.coach. That's businessaccelerator.coach. And look at what it would look like to work with me in my program so that I can help you get the twin win, meaning that you can build a six-figure business while working less than 30 hours a week. With that being said, let's jump into our question here. What is the one question? What is the question that you have to ask yourself to get clarity on your course or your coaching, on your program that you're going to offer your clients? So this is something that, it's called the curse of knowledge. When we become an expert on something, like me studying all the things about productivity, all the things about the brain that help me to hack it to, because we know willpower doesn't work. I'm going to do a video on that. In fact, that might be tomorrow's video. I'm just going to talk about, willpower and how it doesn't work. But the point is that I spend all this time studying. Whatever your specialty is, you spent all this time studying, you spent all this time working to learn and to grow. Now what happens is you've geeked out on this, right? I love that word that we've geeked out, whether it's funnel building or agency or marketing, whatever it is, we've geeked out. And now we have the curse of knowledge. What that means is we start using insider language. We start using industry language. And not only that, but we have a ton. And so when somebody says, well, like when I first started, somebody would say, so Josh, I have this problem. I've got a family and I've got this and this and this, and I have this business. So what's the best way? What's like the number one thing you would tell me to improve my productivity? And oh man, like now I've got it refined. Like I got like an answer specifically for everything, like just a short, quick, this is it. This would help you specifically the best. But man, when I first started, and tell me, give me a hashtag vomit in the comments. I know that sounds gross, but give me a hashtag vomit if you did this. That you start talking and you're like, well, the number one thing you could do is you could do this, and then you could do this. Oh, but you know what? This would be good. And then this does this, and then this, and before you know it, you're just giving them like a recap of like every book you've ever read on this subject, right? Let me know if you've done that. Give me a hashtag vomit in the comments below, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's done that. In fact, I know I'm not the only one who's done that, because I work with clients when I ask them, well, what do you do? And they start telling me, and they just go and they go and they go. Look, I still get excited. I still sometimes even find myself, even now, sometimes find myself doing that. And so that's okay. I have to catch myself and go, okay, man, you've been doing this. So what is it that we have to ask? We could do a lot of things, and entrepreneurs have this problem where it's not a problem. It's a good problem if it is a problem at all. But it's where, well, this knowledge could help this group of people. And then if I applied it this way, it could help this group. And then I also, in learning this, I really like this as well. So I want to teach this too, which doesn't relate to really over here, but I want to teach this because it's really cool. So there's a lot of things that happen. What you need to decide is this, and here's the question that you need to ask. And in fact, I have it written on my whiteboard. That's why I keep looking up over my camera, because it's written on my whiteboard right there. I keep it right in front of me. So as I record these videos, as I record courses, as I work with my clients, it's right at the top, never gets erased. No matter what else goes on my whiteboard, this does not get erased. It's written in big, bold, red letters. And it says this: to achieve the core result of my course or program, my customers will have to ... So that's the idea. You want to give them one outcome. Your coaching program should give them one outcome. Okay, one outcome. Maybe two. So for example, my business accelerator, I tell people that I'm going to help you create a six-figure business while working less than 30 hours a week. So really what I'm doing, it's still one outcome. You're going to build a business. That's the outcome. And the pain that I'm removing is the pain of spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing it. So it's all related to that one outcome. So I sat down and I came up with 9 steps, 9 actionable steps to get there. 3 phases, 9 steps. So 3 steps in each phase. And within those 3 steps, we go in and we talk about what needs to happen, and then we move to the next thing. So that's the idea, is to achieve the core result of my course, my customers will have to. So if you're trying to eliminate, you have to decide, what is the core result? And it can really only be one thing. Now, I also have a productivity course, right? I have a productivity coaching program. It's just straight productivity. That's all it is. What is the core result? The core result is freeing up your time. So I'm not those people, I'm not teaching them to build a business because they've already built a business, right? So that's for a different clientele. And that's okay. You can open this up, but your first course, your first business, what is the one core result? You can do other things. Now, listen, I'm going to start opening up into, helping out with, for example, parenting and how you can apply the productivity system in your family and how you can help your teenagers with motivation and help them. There's a lot of things that are on my board down the road that's on my roadmap for my business. But right now, what is the one core result? What am I doing in this one thing? Because if I try to do everything, if I'm like, hey man, my course, it'll help you be productive. It'll help you build a business. It'll help you with your family. It'll help you with your teens. It'll help you with your spouse. It'll help you with your church obligations. It'll help you be a better member of your church, better Christian. It'll help you be that's just, to a certain point, that just becomes overwhelming, right? Now, some of the things that I might teach in there might help in these other areas because they're principles that are applicable in other areas of of life. But I'm just advertising one core result. So that's the question you have to ask. To achieve the core result of my course, my customers will have to ... What are the steps they will have to take? Now, here's the other thing too. The brain likes threes and multiples of threes. That's why I came up with 3 phases and 3 steps per phase. Okay? So 3 phases, 3 steps per phase. And that comes out to 9 steps, right? So I can literally create a roadmap in Canva or one of those other places, other design places. I can show them what are the steps. In fact, here's my roadmap. Let me show you. Well, I call it a blueprint. Here it is. You can see it right there. Okay. This is my blueprint. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you are getting to that core result and you're getting to it within a handful of steps. I like the 3 phases, 3 steps method. But the reason why is because, again, if it's it's 21 steps, it's 48 steps, it's 150 steps, people don't want to do that. In today's society, unfortunately, people don't want to put in the work. They want things done and they want it done as quickly as possible. Now, that doesn't mean there's a lot of work that there's not a lot of work that goes into my business accelerator program. There is a lot of work. You have to do the work. But the point being is that I'm showing them I've broken it down into digestible chunks, and that those digestible chunks, you're not going to have to be eating this meal. You're not going to be eating this elephant for the next 14 years. Okay. That we're going to get it done. It's going to go step by step. We're going to get this taken care of. So that's the idea that you want when you create. So the question is, again, to achieve the core result of my program, my customer, my client will have to ... What is after the ... What are the 3 phases and the 3 steps per phase that they will have to do to achieve that core result? And then that also cuts out a lot of fluff. Because again, we could, the first time I went through and I created purpose-driven productivity, it was 21 steps, right? It was 21 different lessons. And some of those lessons were like 2-parters broken up into 2 or 3 parts because it was so long. Each video was like a half hour to 45 minutes long. And, and it was great. In fact, some of you actually helped me to create it because I did it live. I just recorded it live as I presented it. So the problem with that, though, is that people don't want to watch 21, 45 to an hour-long videos. They just don't, and they don't want to take part 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 to learn one concept. So that's why it's very important for you to get into this idea of, if you can keep it under 9 steps and cut out the fluff. I went back and I looked at those videos and I realized, what, really for the productivity part, that actually I created about 6 different courses in what I was teaching. There was a lot that I could cut out from the mindset part that actually could become its own course. There was a lot that I could cut out from the planning part of it, the creating your ideal week and weekly map and things like that. All of that there's a lot that could have been taken out there. There was just a lot of stuff that was related, but not necessary. So you got to get down to that. Get rid of the stuff that's related, but not necessary. And I know that you're saying, but Josh, everything is necessary. I promise you it's not. I promise. If you look through there, there is a skeleton framework that will get them the result. Now you can create additional courses. You can create next level courses. Okay, you completed this framework. You're doing good. Let's take you to the next step. Let's now fill this out. Okay. But you don't want to overwhelm people the first time through. They will never come back. They'll never want to do anything with you. And I promise you that they will not give you good reviews, and they won't even finish your program. So to achieve the core result of my course, my client will have to ... Fill in the ... You guys will be well on your way to creating a wonderful course or coaching program that people will want to be a part of, that people will have success in. That's what you want. At the end of the day, you want people to succeed in your program because you want them to tell others about how successful it was. That's why I was on the Launchpad Live, was because Dean wanted to show others the success I had had using his program and his steps. So make sure you do that, and make sure you give me a hashtag live. If you join me live, give me a hashtag replay. Make sure to like, share, follow this, my socials. And again, go to businessaccelerator.coach if you have any questions or would like to see what it looks like to work with me and see what my Business Accelerator program would do for you. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.